what it is, what it look like, what it's gonna be. It's Fat Daddy with Oak Tree Entertainment coming at you live once again. I just wanted to come and I know that it's a lot been going on about out here with that pastor and in New York and Brooklyn. But I just don't understand why would somebody play with God like that. They say that the man was robbed, legend. Well, it ain't a legend. He was robbed at his church while he was doing a live stream, just like what I'm doing right now. But he had a congregation in front of him, and that the gunman came walking into his church on a live and held him at gunpoint and robbed him and his wife for $1 million forgery. Okay, they didn't rob nobody else. Why they had everybody held up in there hostage? Okay, wasn't nobody at the front door, or they didn't lock the front door. With these days and time, the way things are going on now, so the front door just be left wide open for anybody to come at any time during the service. There are no greeters. There's nobody ushers. There's no ushers standing up at the front or standing at the back or watching over the door. I mean, you can hear the pastor preaching all over the church with the sound that they have. I guess nobody thought about that. Like, okay, is there not no armor bearers or no ushers? That's my ring, my camera. But there are no ushers. There's nobody watching over the door. So everybody is focused on what the pastor's doing at that given time in that moment. Nobody got the doors locked. So you leaving everybody in there can be harmed at any given time. You know, we done seen so many people run up in the grocery stores. We done seen people run up in churches and kill people. We done seen so many people run up in the schools these days. So you are leaving all of your doors open to the church that so these gunmen can walk. They didn't run. They walked in there and robbed you at gunpoint. Come on, man. Come on. Now, just by those few things that I said, I'm not a cop. I'm knowing right here this stuff's being staged. Ain't no fire, ain't no shot been let off to warn nobody that let them know they serious or not, something like that. They walked in there slow. They didn't point the gun, not that I seen. Not with the video that's going out. And walked in there so calm, not high alert. From what I can tell, all three of them was walking around in there. And they was able to rob you at gunpoint like that. Nobody try to save nobody. Didn't nobody try to move. You just looking like, okay, when I start, get a couple words in, come on in. That seemed like what it was to me. And you know, I'm gonna take care of y'all. I don't know if it was staged. I'm just saying, like the way you can't just take a person at their word these days. Nope. Especially if they head of it. If they over it, and ain't nobody, they don't feel like nobody gonna question them. They don't feel like nobody gonna look at them. I'm talking about when they thinking about doing it, not after it's done, not after they call the police and I'm talking about when they are staging it or when they are telling somebody to come in here and do this. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna set you straight, buddy. I'm gonna set you straight. Just go ahead and make that happen. That's all people have to do these days. The way people hungry for money. The way people going out here robbing people for stuff and taking people's stuff. You know, they robbing old folks these days. They robbing kids these days. They going up in grocery stores. They going up in prisons. I mean, yeah, they doing stuff in prisons. They doing stuff at your local store. Come on, man. I'm walking up to my local stores and seeing they got wood up on the doors and all this and that, or the windows been busted out of. And he think it's just gonna go that easy and think ain't nobody gonna question what he done did. I was just sitting back to wait and see. And he done been arguing with some people on live, calling people out their name as a pastor. He calling this dude a faggot and calling this woman Biggie Smalls and all this and that. Come on, man. And you a pastor? If you can get thrown out of character just that easy by being on live, if you're going through financial troubles or going through different stuff, then what is it to say that you ain't staged this? Because you can get out of your character on live. You can get out of your character with two people on live. And you're a pastor. But you're head of a church. I don't know how long you've been head of church, but you've been head of church a long time. So if you're the head of the church, then you know all about the finances. You know all about your finances. Like you said on news that you have to have multiple streams of income. Okay, you're right. And that you don't take no money from that church. That's more of a better reason for you to get robbed at church. I mean, you don't take no money from the church. That's what you said. So, if your multiple streams of income not bringing in what you need to bring it in, then, let me try this at my church so I can get some insurance money. I'm just saying, allegedly saying that I ain't saying that that's what you did, but if a person think in their mind like how I'm thinking, and I'm not a detective, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a police officer. I'm just saying, after I done sit back and listen to all the facts, listen to what you done said, listen how you got mad and upset on live just cause Larry and another girl was on live, and you did not hold your emotions, you did not hold your feelings. You said what you had to say, you showed your emotions, and you called this man out of his character, you called this woman out of her character, but you didn't really defend the church that bad. While, I mean, at gunpoint or not. That's more of a reason why I would be a little upset or timid. I'd have been upset. I done been held at gunpoint and been robbed and all this and that. I still showed my reaction to the people that were doing it, especially if my wife and my kids are in there. I'm not going to just bow down as a man. So as a man, you showing that any given time, you will give it up. And whether your wife thought you had security, she had security in you or not, that showed that you didn't have no kind of security by not having nobody at the door, no kind of protection for your wife and your kid. You didn't make sure that your whole church was secure. All the people in the church. I'd be afraid to come back to your doggone church. If you ain't got me secured or you ain't got me protected as I'm the sheep, you the shepherd. I don't even know if my family protected if we come up in there trying to show you come to your church. The way things are going on in society today, how bad it is today, can't nobody put it past nobody. Can't nobody take nobody at their word. We having to second guess our children. We having to second guess our mate. We having to second guess the people that work for us or work with us in our circle. So you think that the government, the Internal Revenue, whoever, the IRS, and the police department, the news, whoever else, you think they're going to believe you, man? You think they're going to sit back and believe you that you just left your church open? That's one of the faults of the insurance company anyway. that I don't have a business where people is involved. You got to make sure that they are very protected. So you gonna make sure that they ain't you gonna make sure that they protected for your insurance purposes. Because now people are looking at churches and stuff like businesses being ran. So I advise you to really, if you didn't seek God before, and you try to do stuff and you let all this stuff get in your way, I advise you to serve God now. Because you're gonna need that God that you say you serve to get you out of this. Because the lives of those people was in your hand. Your wife and kids' lives was in your hand. Bump getting mad at Larry and that lady on live. Bump that. Don't nobody care about that. You getting mad and upset on live. You have people lives in your care. Your wife and daughter, if you got you got that upset with them on live, then you supposed to take every precaution you could to make sure your family is safe. Your sheep is safe. But you want to be on live with your sermon and then be on live with Larry and them and in front of millions of people and getting upset and calling people out of their name. Man, what kind of man of God is you, man? What kind of man of God is you to let your guards down like that? In 2022, after you done seen all of this stuff going on in the world. Really? Really, bro? I don't know you like that. I don't know you. I don't know nothing about you. I just had seen it and I ran across it and somebody told me about it. I looked it up and I'm like, man, come on, man. Bro ain't get caught slipping like that. Cause you still a man. You still got thoughts. You still have a temptation. You still got the enemy that come and test you every day. Just as quick as you was able to get mad and upset with Larry and them, you still got debt. You still have bills. You're living this lavish lifestyle. We don't know if you done. Yeah, you can have what you want to have. You can buy what you want to buy. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that. But to put people's lives in jeopardy over some jewelry or money, come on, bro. You got caught slipping. Not by them, but by your own evil thoughts, your own evil ways, by not locking and securing that door, by letting your guard down and thinking everything is okay, by accepting that everything is okay with you and your church or your family or everything. Ain't nobody coming up in here. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. Everybody know me around here. Ain't nobody out there watching for you. Your whole community know you, but ain't nobody out there watching and protecting your church. In 2022, ain't nobody standing out front protecting you. Ain't no security, like they said. Ain't no security watching over your church. Come on, man. You dropped the ball on this one, buddy. You're going to need Jesus to help you get through this. So I just advise you to pray hard. Because it's gonna take a miracle to get you out of this one, buddy. You know, I don't want to see nothing happen to you. I don't want to see nothing happen to your family. I don't want to see nothing happen to your ministry if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing the right way. Because a man of God can have all those lavish lifestyle. He can. I would encourage you to show it. I would encourage you to have it. I would encourage you to do whatever, because the drug dealers go out here and do theirs. Everybody else go out here and show their lifestyle. So I don't mind you doing that. But it was the way it was done, brother. It was the way you let your guards down, man, of your church. You put everybody in danger, man. And I'm praying and hoping that you see for what it is. And if it was something done wrong, or if it was some kind of scam or scheme, just go ahead and admit the situation and just get it over with, because I advise you to do it because if you don't do it and they catch you up in something, then it's gonna make you look a whole lot worse, bro. It's gonna turn your life upside down. You're gonna think you were famous because of what you do, but you're gonna be known famous for what you did, not for what you do. So I advise you, brother, to not get mad at the people off of that can't do nothing to you because you're supposed to be not being able to be touched because you're a head of a flock. You're a man of God. Don't worry about getting mad at them. You should show your frustration or show somebody how upset and frustrated you was when they was robbing your church or when they robbed your church. I ain't even really see you that upset when they robbed your church. The upset I seen you was on the live with Larry now. So I just don't really understand. Like, how can you have all of this stuff and get hemmed up in something like this, man? And if it was done the way it was done, then God would still give you what you do so righteously deserve. He gave it to you once, he'll give it to you again. But what I am saying is that it just look a little fishy, bro. It just look a little fishy. So, and who am I? I wasn't there. I don't know what was done. I don't know how it was done. I don't even know you, bro. But what I am saying is that what you are showing is that you're showing that your flock is not secure. You're showing that your church is open for anybody to come in at any given time. While you on live, while you doing what you doing or whatever. Anybody can walk. Ain't no kind of order in your church. Somebody can come in and out whenever they want to. And nobody, no usher telling them, ho, sit down, the pastor's speaking. Ho. Can't nobody walk in there right now. Ho. No, not right now. You know, you can get to him later. Somebody else would have been taking, you'd have had some commotion going on out there, but you wouldn't have knew. You would have been secured. You and your family would have been secured, or the rest of your flock would have been secured. Because somebody else is scuffling out there at the front door. You might have heard a couple shots ring out or whatever, but other than that, you wouldn't nobody in there would have saw no gun, bro. They wouldn't have saw no gun. I done been an usher over mega churches. I done been seen at mega churches. They got the earpieces in. They got stuff in that telling what people walking through, where to set people at. Shoot, you can't even get down to the pew. Somebody will stop you and say, hey, they told me you come and sit right here. I'm just saying. So, if you ain't praying or losing no sleep at night, you might need to start praying. I ain't telling you to lose no sleep because you apparently not done nothing wrong. So you ain't gonna lose no sleep. You gonna argue the fact because the way you argue with Larry and them and that young lady, you gonna argue the fact to where it might take your last breath, bro, to be able to give up and say, "Ho, I plead guilty. I'm guilty." So I'm not saying you guilty. I'm not alleged you guilty. I'm not whatever. You might not be guilty of no crime. I'm just saying. Think about what occurred on that day. Think about your family. Think about your life. Think about your flock life. And if you ain't did nothing wrong, then you continue on defending it. But if you have, I'm just saying, if you have, then I advise you to please, before it's too late, to do the right thing. It's Oak Tree from Entertainment, Fat Daddy Live, baby. Subscribe to the channel and pray for that pastor and his family. Pray for his sheep, their families, and even pray for the guys that went in there and their families. Subscribe to the channel. I got more content coming out. I'm running behind. Been on vacation. I'm running behind, so y'all be seeing more and more content coming out. But subscribe to the channel. I love y'all. Fat Daddy Oak Tree Entertainment. Peace out, baby.